The Lost Puppy in Moonlight. One shiny night, Luna, the little fluffy puppy with big curious eyes, woke up to a glowing full moon. The moonlight made the garden sparkle like a fairy tale. Luna felt excited and decided to explore the magical night outside her cozy home. She tiptoed past the colorful flowers and followed a soft silver path that glowed just for her. The moon smiled down, lighting the way as Luna's tiny paws patted softly on the cool grass. As Luna wandered deeper, twinkling stars blinked cheerfully above, guiding her steps. Suddenly, she heard a soft hoot nearby. It was a friendly owl with big round eyes perched on a tree branch. "Hello, Luna," the owl whispered. "The moonlight can show you wonders, but it's easy to get lost. Let me help you find your way." Grateful, Luna wagged her tail happily and followed the wise owl's gentle flutter through the peaceful forest. Further along the moonlit path, Luna met a gentle deer with shining spots that glowed like tiny lanterns. The deer smiled warmly and said, "I know a secret way back to your home, through the shimmering meadow." Luna felt brave and followed the deer through the sparkling grass that glistened like diamonds. The night felt magical, and Luna's heart was full of joy as the moonlight danced on her fur. At last, through the shimmering meadow, Luna caught sight of her cozy house with warm, glowing windows. The moon smiled brightly, lighting Luna's way home. She wagged her tail excitedly and ran across the garden, under the twinkling stars. Luna learned that even when the night seems big and mysterious, kind friends and the gentle moonlight will always help you find your way back to where you belong. The Secret of the Rainbow Bridge. One sunny morning, little Mia was playing near her garden when she suddenly saw something amazing. A bright, colorful bridge made entirely of shimmering rainbows stretching across the sky. It sparkled with every color she could imagine, glowing softly like a magical light. Mia's eyes grew wide with wonder, and she wondered where the bridge could lead. She tiptoed closer, feeling excitement bubble inside her heart. Could this be a secret bridge to a magical land? She whispered with a smile. As Mia stepped onto the rainbow bridge, tiny sparkling fish swam playfully beneath her feet in a clear, twinkling stream. Suddenly, a fluffy white bunny hopped up beside her and gave a gentle nod, as if inviting her to continue. Mia giggled happily, feeling the bridge gently sway with every step. The colors beneath her toes felt warm and soft, like walking on clouds made of sunshine and joy. "Come on, Bunny. Let's see what wonderful things are waiting for us," she said cheerfully. Further along the bridge, Mia met friendly, fluffy clouds that floated nearby, smiling warmly at her. They whispered a secret. The magic of this bridge comes from laughter and kindness. Mia laughed with delight and clapped her hands. Suddenly, the colors of the bridge danced and sparkled even brighter. She realized that the happiest hearts could make the rainbow bridge shine the most. Mia felt her heart glow with warmth as she skipped along, sharing smiles with every cloud and creature she met. At the end of the rainbow bridge, Mia discovered a magical land filled with colorful flowers that sang gentle songs, friendly animals that danced in the sunshine, and sparkling streams that giggled as they flowed. She felt like she had stepped into a dream where everything was happy and bright. Mia knew the secret of the Rainbow Bridge now, that it was a place where love, laughter, and kindness made all things shine. She promised to visit often and keep sharing her joyful heart with the magical world. The rhythm of friendship. In the heart of a bright, green forest lived a shy little rabbit named Rumi. Rumi loved to hop softly through the trees, listening carefully to the sounds around. One sunny morning, Rumi heard a gentle tapping sound and followed it to find a cheerful bluebird tapping its wings to a happy tune. Curious, Rumi sat quietly and began to tap a soft rhythm with tiny paws on a nearby stone. The bluebird chirped happily, inviting Rumi to join the music. As Rumi and the bluebird played, a fluffy squirrel scampered down a tree with a little drum. The squirrel smiled and joined the rhythm, tapping the drum with tiny paws. Rumi's eyes sparkled with excitement as the sounds mixed together, a happy beat that made the forest feel alive. Soon, a green frog hopped over, jingling a shiny tambourine, adding a cheerful jingle to the growing song. Rumi felt the joy of sharing music with new friends. Together, Rumi and the friends made a wonderful rhythm that echoed through the forest. Each sound was special: Rumi's soft taps, the bluebird's chirps, the squirrel's drum beats, and the frog's jingles. They laughed and danced, feeling the magic that happens when everyone's different beats come together. From that day on, Rumi knew the secret. Friendship is like a beautiful song, made brighter when everyone shares their own rhythm. The little pine siskin's chirp. In a tall, green forest filled with whispering pine trees lived a little pine siskin named Sunny. Sunny was very small, with bright yellow and green feathers that shimmered in the sunlight. But there was something special about Sunny. He had a tiny chirp that was softer than all the other birds' songs. Sunny wished he could sing loud and bright like his friends, so he practiced every day, hoping his chirp would grow stronger. One morning, Sunny met a wise old owl who was resting on a nearby branch. The owl smiled kindly and said, "Sunny, every chirp has its own magic. You just need to find yours." Sunny blinked his bright eyes and asked, "How do I find it?" The owl fluffed his feathers and replied, "Listen carefully to the forest and let your heart sing." Sunny closed his eyes and listened. He heard the buzzing bees, the rustling leaves, and the babbling brook. Then he felt a tickle of joy inside and chirped a little louder, a little clearer. Suddenly, a sparkling blue butterfly fluttered by and danced around Sunny, making him giggle. Nearby, a friendly red fox peeked out from behind a tree, smiling at Sunny's brightening song. With each chirp, Sunny's confidence grew. His tiny voice began to sparkle like morning sunshine through the pine branches. The other birds stopped to listen, and soon the whole forest was filled with Sunny's cheerful song. He had found his magic chirp, soft but full of happiness that made everyone smile. And from that day on, Sunny sang loud and bright, lighting up the forest with his special song. The friendly fish's ocean. Deep in the sparkling blue ocean lived Finley, a friendly little fish with bright orange scales that shimmered like the sun. Finley loved to swim around the colorful coral reefs, waving hello to all the sea creatures. One sunny morning, Finley decided that today was perfect for making new friends and exploring the big, beautiful ocean. As Finley glided past the coral, he spotted Starry the starfish resting on a pink coral branch. "Hello, Starry. Would you like to play?" Finley asked with a friendly wave of his fin. Starry twinkled with joy and nodded. Together, they danced and twirled among the colorful sea plants, making the ocean sparkle even more. Suddenly, Bubbles the curious seahorse floated by, his teal tail curling and uncurling as he watched Finley and Starry. "Can I join your game?" he asked shyly. "Of course," Finley said. The three friends played hide-and-seek around the coral and shells, giggling as they found each other and shared lots of smiles. As the day went on, Finley noticed some playful dolphins jumping high above the waves. "Let's say hello," he said excitedly. The dolphins splashed happily and invited Finley and his friends to swim alongside them. Together, they raced through the sparkling water, feeling the ocean's gentle waves and the warmth of friendship all around. As the sun began to set, casting golden light through the ocean, Finley and his new friends gathered near a glowing seashell. "Today was the best adventure ever," Finley said with a happy smile. "The ocean is full of friends and fun," and with that, they all snuggled close, ready to dream about more ocean adventures tomorrow. The Little Rabbit's Burrow. In a quiet forest, beneath a big oak tree, lived a little rabbit named Rosie. Her burrow was warm and snug, filled with soft moss and tiny glowing crystals that twinkled like stars. Each morning, Rosie loved to hop out and explore the wonders of the forest around her home. Today, she decided to peek inside her burrow's tunnels to see what magical friends might be waiting to say hello. As Rosie hopped deeper into her burrow, she met Benny the beetle, who was shining bright blue under the soft glow. Benny waved his tiny antennae and said, "Hello, Rosie. Would you like to see the secret garden under the roots?" Rosie's eyes sparkled with excitement. She loved adventures, especially ones with her friends. Together, they scurried through the tunnels, discovering tiny flowers that only grew in the dark. Suddenly, a soft light appeared ahead. It was Glimmer the glowworm, lighting the way with a gentle golden glow. "Follow me," Glimmer whispered. The little group followed the glowing worm to a sparkling underground pond where water droplets shimmered like diamonds. Rosie felt like she had found a secret treasure. She realized that her cozy burrow was full of magic, just waiting to be shared with friends. As the sun began to set, Rosie hopped back to the entrance of her burrow, smiling all the way. She knew that her little home was more than just a burrow. It was a magical place filled with friendship and wonder. Rosie curled up in her soft moss bed, dreaming of all the adventures tomorrow would bring. And deep under the oak tree, the little burrow twinkled gently, waiting for new stories to be discovered. The Curious Eye of Emily. Emily was no ordinary little girl. She had a very special eye, her curious eye, that could see magical things hidden from everyone else. One bright morning, Emily looked around her garden and noticed something sparkling behind the tall sunflowers. Her curious eye twinkled as she tiptoed closer, eager to discover what secret was waiting for her today. As Emily pushed aside the sunflower leaves, she found a secret garden glowing with colors she had never seen before. The flowers here had friendly faces and whispered cheerful greetings. A group of butterflies danced around, their wings shimmering like tiny rainbows. Emily smiled with wonder, her curious eyes sparkling brighter than ever. Suddenly, a shy white rabbit peeked out from behind a violet flower. He looked nervous and a little lost. Emily knelt down gently and asked, "Would you like to play with me?" The rabbit nodded, and together they explored the magical garden, discovering sparkling treasure hidden beneath the leaves that made the whole garden glow with happiness. The colorful world of creativity. Leela was a tiny chameleon who loved to change colors. One sunny morning, she found a sparkling path that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Curious and excited, Leela followed the path and soon arrived at a magical place called the colorful world of creativity. The air smelled sweet like candy, and everywhere she looked, colors danced and twirled like they were alive. Leela's eyes sparkled with wonder as she stepped inside this amazing world where creativity could turn dreams into real adventures. In this colorful world, Leela met a magical paintbrush that floated all by itself. It shimmered with rainbow bristles and invited Leela to paint the sky. With a happy smile, Leela reached out and touched the brush. Suddenly, she painted clouds in fluffy pinks and blues, and stars twinkled in green and gold. The sky became a canvas where anything was possible. Leela laughed and twirled as the colors swirled around her like a beautiful dance of joy and imagination. Next, Leela discovered a pile of colorful building blocks that could float and bounce. She stacked them high, building castles, bridges, and even a tiny playground for her new friends. As she worked, musical notes floated by, playing cheerful tunes that made Leela want to sing and dance. The whole world seemed alive with colors and sounds, and Leela felt like she was part of a big, happy painting that never ended. As the sun began to set, a friendly pastel cloud came to say hello. It told Leela that creativity lives inside everyone's heart, and all she had to do was imagine and let her colors shine. Leela smiled warmly, feeling happy and full of ideas. She knew she could always come back to this magical world anytime she wanted, where colors, music, and dreams could mix and bloom forever. With a heart full of joy and a coat shimmering with all the colors she had painted, Leela skipped back home along the rainbow path. She knew every day could be colorful and creative if she just imagined and played. And whenever she wanted, the magical world of creativity would be waiting for her, ready to share new adventures and bright, beautiful colors. And so, Leela's days were always filled with fun, laughter, and endless imagination. The playful penguin's Waddle. Penny the penguin loved to waddle all day long. She waddled over the soft snow and slid on the shiny ice. "Waddle, waddle, waddle," she sang happily. The cold wind tickled her feathers as she twirled and twirled. Everywhere Penny went, she made the snow sparkle with her playful steps. Sometimes she even made little snow penguin shapes with her feet. One day, Penny met Sammy the seal, who was sliding on his belly nearby. "Hello, Sammy. Want to play a sliding race?" Penny asked with a big smile. Sammy clapped his flippers and said, "Yes, let's see who slides the fastest." They slid and giggled, zooming down the icy hill, making funny swooshing sounds. Penny's Waddle turned into a speedy slide, and Sammy's belly made splashes of sparkling snow. After the race, Penny and Sammy heard a soft hoot from above. It was Olivia the snowy owl. "Can I join your fun?" she asked with bright eyes. Penny nodded happily. "Of course. Let's play hide-and-seek among the snowy trees." Olivia flew up high, watching carefully, while Penny and Sammy waddled behind the snow-covered bushes. They laughed and counted, then jumped out, surprising each other with big smiles. Just when the sun started to dip low, Penny spotted a tiny polar bear cub named Poppy rolling in the snow. "Hello, Poppy. Want to join our game?" Penny asked. Poppy giggled and rolled over to join them. Together, they waddled, slid, and tumbled in the snow, making the cold day feel warm with friendship. Penny's playful Waddle had brought new friends and endless fun to her snowy world. Princess Rose's Enchanted Castle. Princess Rose lived in a magical castle filled with bright colors, sparkling windows, and secret passages. Every morning, she danced through the halls, laughing with the tiny glowing fairies who lived in the garden outside. Her castle wasn't just a home. It was a place where dreams could come true and magic filled the air like butterflies fluttering in the sun. One sunny day, as Princess Rose played near the garden gate, she saw a tiny sparkle floating in the air. It twinkled softly and danced like a little star. Curious, she reached out her hand, and the sparkle floated down and landed gently on her palm. It glowed warmly, inviting her to follow it on an adventure. With the sparkle lighting her way, Princess Rose tiptoed through secret doors and winding staircases she had never seen before. Each step was full of wonder. The sparkle led her to a hidden room filled with magical toys that came to life, singing and dancing just for her. She clapped her hands with joy, twirling around with new friends made of light and laughter. At the very heart of the castle, the sparkle showed Princess Rose a giant, shiny flower made of crystals. When she touched it, the flower bloomed with a beautiful rainbow of colors, filling the whole castle with happiness and light. Princess Rose knew her enchanted castle was even more special than she had ever dreamed. From that day on, Princess Rose and her sparkling friends filled every corner of the castle with laughter and magic. And whenever a little sparkle appeared, she always followed it, knowing that the best adventures and happiest moments were waiting just around the next corner in her enchanted home. The Adventures of Lily and Leo. One sunny morning, Lily woke up with a big smile. She looked outside and saw her puppy, Leo, wagging his tail eagerly. Today wasn't just any day, it was the perfect day for an adventure. Together, they ran outside into the backyard, but as they stepped on the soft grass, something magical happened. The flowers began to sparkle, the trees stretched higher, and a gentle breeze whispered, "Come explore." Lily held Leo's paw, and they stepped into a magical land right behind their house. As they walked deeper into this enchanted garden, they met a tiny dragonfly named Dazzle. Dazzle had shimmering wings that twinkled like stars. She told Lily and Leo about a secret. The rainbow fountain was missing its colors. Without its colors, the magic of the garden was fading. Lily and Leo decided they had to help. With Dazzle leading the way, they set off to find the colors and bring magic back to the garden. First, they found the red ruby rose guarded by a friendly ladybug named Leela. Leela smiled and said, "Take this red color, but promise to be gentle with the garden." Lily carefully picked a glowing red petal and placed it in their little basket. Next, they visited the blue bubble pond, where Leo splashed with joy. The pond gave them bright blue bubbles that floated softly in the air. With each new color they found, the garden grew more alive and magical. Finally, Lily, Leo, and Dazzle reached the top of a sparkling hill where the rainbow fountain stood, dull and quiet. Lily sprinkled all the colors they collected, red, blue, yellow, green, and purple, into the fountain. Suddenly, the fountain burst into a dazzling rainbow spray. The garden glowed with magic, and all the creatures cheered. Lily hugged Leo and Dazzle, feeling proud and happy. They had saved the magic of their special garden together. As the sun began to set, the magical garden gently faded back into their backyard. Lily and Leo waved goodbye to their new friends and promised to visit again soon. They skipped back inside, hearts full of wonder and joy. Lily whispered to Leo, "Every day can be an adventure if we believe in magic." Leo barked happily, ready for their next big journey together. The Little Train of Timmy and Tina. One sunny morning, Timmy and Tina climbed aboard their little train, ready for an exciting adventure. The train's wheels sparkled as it began to chug-chug along the rainbow-colored tracks. Timmy waved at the hopping bunnies, and Tina smiled as the singing birds fluttered above. The air was filled with laughter and the promise of new friends and magical places just ahead. Together, they felt ready to explore the wonders waiting around every bend. As the little train chugged into a sparkling forest, Timmy spotted a waving squirrel perched on a glittering tree branch. Tina giggled and waved back, and the squirrel happily hopped down to join their journey. The trees shimmered with sparkling leaves that twinkled like stars, making the whole forest feel like a magical playground. The train's whistle sang a happy tune, and everyone felt the joy of friendship growing with every chug and puff. Suddenly, the train approached a hill covered in rainbow-colored flowers that swayed gently in the breeze. Timmy and Tina leaned out the windows, breathing in the sweet, flowery scent. The friendly animals danced along the tracks, and the little train sang its cheerful whistle song. As they reached the top of the hill, the sun painted the sky with golden light, making everything sparkle like a treasure chest full of happiness. At the end of the journey, the little train slowed down near a sparkling lake where rainbow fish jumped and splashed playfully. Timmy and Tina stepped off with their new animal friends, feeling happy and full of stories to share. They knew their little train could take them anywhere their imagination dreamed. With hearts as bright as the shining sun, they promised to explore even more magical places together soon. The harvest of autumn. One crisp autumn morning, Benny the bunny hopped out of his cozy burrow, his little red scarf fluttering in the gentle breeze. The trees were dressed in brilliant gold, orange, and red leaves that danced as they fell softly to the ground. Benny was excited because today was the day of the big harvest festival. He wanted to gather the yummiest pumpkins and the juiciest apples to share with his friends. Along the path, Benny met Sally the squirrel, who was busily collecting acorns in her tiny basket. "Hello, Benny. Let's find the best harvest treasures together," she chirped. They giggled and ran toward the pumpkin patch, where big orange pumpkins sat like friendly giants under the golden sun. Benny tried to lift a pumpkin, but it was very heavy. Sally quickly helped him push it, and together they rolled it toward the village. Next, they found Felix the fox near the apple orchard. Felix was picking shiny red apples from a low branch. "Come help me," he said with a friendly smile. Benny and Sally reached up and picked apples too, filling their baskets until they were full. Suddenly, a gentle breeze blew leaves all around them, swirling and twirling like a happy autumn dance. The friends laughed and twirled with the leaves, feeling cozy and joyful together. As the sun began to set, the friends carried their harvest back to the village clearing. The sky turned soft pink and orange, and the air smelled sweet and fresh. They laid out their pumpkins, apples, and acorns in a big, happy pile. All the animals from the village gathered around, sharing stories and nibbling on tasty treats. Benny smiled, feeling warm inside. The harvest was not just about food. It was about friendship, sharing, and the magic of autumn all around them. The Rainbow Bridge to Dreamland. Every night, as the stars twinkled softly in the sky, little Bella the bunny would look out her window and wonder where dreams came from. One special evening, as she snuggled into her cozy bed, a shimmering arch of colors appeared outside her window, a glowing rainbow bridge stretching across the sky. Curious and brave, Bella hopped out and stepped onto the soft, sparkling colors. The bridge felt warm and gentle beneath her paws, guiding her higher and higher into the twinkling night. As Bella traveled along the rainbow bridge, she saw soft, fluffy clouds shaped like pillows floating all around her. She bounced lightly from one cloud pillow to another, giggling as they felt as soft as her favorite blanket. The sky was filled with tiny glowing stars that smiled and sang sweet lullabies, their gentle voices swirling like a lullaby breeze. Bella felt so happy and peaceful, as if the whole sky was welcoming her to a magical new world called Dreamland. In Dreamland, Bella met delightful dream creatures who loved to play and sing. A sleepy owl with twinkling eyes told her stories about sparkling night adventures, while a smiling moon rabbit hopped alongside her, making her laugh with gentle tickles. Together, they explored fields of shimmering flowers and danced beneath sparkling star showers. Bella learned that Dreamland was a place where imaginations could run free and magical dreams could grow big and bright all through the night. The Midnight Shipwreck Mystery. One quiet night, when the moon was big and bright, little Milo the mouse woke up from his cozy nest. Outside, the waves whispered secrets and the stars twinkled like tiny diamonds. Curious Milo grabbed his little lantern and tiptoed to the sandy shore. Suddenly, beneath the shimmering water, he spotted something glowing, a magical shipwreck sparkling in the moonlight. Milo's eyes grew wide with wonder. What could it be? He decided to find out. As Milo peered closer, a friendly pink starfish named Glimmer popped out from behind a rock. "Hello, Milo. The midnight shipwreck is full of sparkling treasures," she said with a smile. Just then, Krabby the cheerful red crab scuttled by, waving his claws. "Let's explore together," he cheered. The three new friends decided to dive into a magical adventure, curious about the glowing treasures hidden inside the shipwreck. They held onto each other tightly and splashed into the sparkling water. Inside the shipwreck, the friends discovered sparkling shells, shiny pearls, and glittering jewels that twinkled like stars. "Wow!" gasped Milo. But the greatest treasure was a glowing, magical pearl that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Suddenly, the pearl floated up and shone bright, lighting up the whole shipwreck like a cozy lantern. The friends laughed and danced in the warm glow, feeling happy and brave. The midnight shipwreck had shared its secret, friendship and magic sparkle brightest of all. When it was time to return home, Milo, Glimmer, and Krabby waved goodbye to the sparkling shipwreck as it slowly dimmed beneath the waves. "We'll come back soon," promised Milo. The moon smiled down as the friends walked back along the shore, their hearts full of magic and wonder. Milo snuggled into his cozy nest, dreaming of new adventures. And from that night on, whenever the moon was big and bright, the midnight shipwreck sparkled just for them, whispering secrets of friendship and magic. The Yellow Journey of Yvette and Yves. One sunny morning in the heart of the yellow forest, Yvette and Yves, two tiny yellow birds, woke up feeling extra sparkly and curious. Today was the day they would begin their yellow journey. With a flap of their bright wings, they soared above the golden sunflowers that smiled up at them, ready to explore the sparkling streams and glowing meadows. Every leaf and petal shimmered like sunshine, and the air buzzed softly with the songs of happy bees. Yvette chirped, "Let's find the magical yellow treasure hidden somewhere in the forest." Yves twirled in the air, excited to start the adventure. As they flew deeper into the forest, Yvette spotted a sparkling yellow stream winding gently through the trees. They fluttered down to peek into the clear, golden water and saw tiny yellow fish swimming in swirls. Yves dipped his wing to splash playfully, and the water sparkled like tiny stars. Suddenly, a friendly yellow squirrel scampered down from a tree, holding a shiny yellow acorn. "Hello," it chirped. "Would you like to follow me to the sunflower meadow? It's where the biggest, brightest sunflowers grow." Yvette and Yves nodded eagerly, ready for the next part of their journey. The sunflower meadow was a sea of bright, smiling sunflowers swaying gently in the breeze. Yvette and Yves hopped from flower to flower, their feathers glowing softly in the warm light. Butterflies with golden wings fluttered all around, and a yellow rabbit peeked shyly from behind a petal. Suddenly, Yves spotted a golden key hidden beneath a sunflower leaf. "This must be the magical treasure," he chirped excitedly. Yvette fluttered beside him, their eyes sparkling with joy. Together, they wondered what the key might unlock in their sunny, yellow world. The Airplane Adventure of Alex and Ava. One sunny morning, Alex and Ava climbed into their bright little airplane, ready for an adventure in the sky. As soon as the airplane took off, fluffy clouds began to change shape. Alex pointed excitedly as a cloud turned into a hopping bunny with big, soft ears. Ava laughed, waving to the cloud bunny. The sky was filled with magic, and the airplane soared higher, gliding through the cottony clouds that seemed to come alive just for them. As they flew further, a giant cloud whale appeared beneath the airplane, blowing sparkling mist into the air. Alex and Ava gasped in wonder as the cloud whale gently swam through the sky, splashing shimmering droplets that tickled their faces. Ava giggled and pretended to splash back, while Alex imagined riding on the whale's back. The airplane danced with the breeze, carrying them closer to new sky friends and endless fun. Suddenly, a playful dragon made of clouds swooped down beside the airplane, blowing soft puffs of mist that smelled like sweet cotton candy. Alex and Ava clapped their hands with delight as the dragon twirled and danced in the air, its fluffy tail sparkling like stars. They waved goodbye as the airplane began to descend, their hearts full of joy from the magical friends they met in the sky. Back home, they dreamed of their next airplane adventure. The Little Baker's Big Treat. In a little village, there was a tiny bakery where Mia, the little baker, loved to mix and stir. One sunny morning, Mia decided she wanted to bake the biggest, yummiest treat ever. She put on her flowery apron, grabbed her wooden spoon, and began to gather colorful ingredients. Flour flew like soft clouds, and sugar sparkled like magic dust. Mia danced around the kitchen, humming a happy tune as she mixed bright berries, creamy milk, and golden honey into a big, bubbling bowl. As Mia poured the batter into a giant cake pan, something wonderful happened. The cake began to grow and grow, stretching up and up until it reached the ceiling. Mia's eyes sparkled with surprise and delight. She decorated it with rainbow icing, twinkling sprinkles, and shiny cherries on top. The cake was so big and beautiful that it made the whole bakery smell like a dream. Mia knew this was her big treat for all her friends in the village. Mia invited all her friends to the bakery, the playful puppy, the curious cat, and the wise old owl. Everyone gathered around the giant cake, their eyes wide with joy and their noses twitching at the sweet smell. Mia cut a big slice and shared it with all her friends. Everyone laughed, sang, and danced as they tasted the yummy treat. That day, Mia's big cake wasn't just a dessert. It was a magical moment of friendship and happiness that filled the little village with smiles. The Happy Turkey's Gobble. On a sunny morning in a bright and bustling farmyard, Tilly the turkey was feeling extra happy. She loved to gobble every day, but today she wanted her gobble to sound the happiest it ever had. She puffed out her feathers, flapped her wings, and took a deep breath. "Gobble, gobble," she said, but it sounded just like usual. Tilly smiled, determined to find a way to make her gobble sparkle with joy. Tilly waddled over to her friends to ask for help. First, she found Benny the bunny hopping near the flower patch. "Benny, can you help me make my gobble extra happy?" she asked. Benny twitched his nose and smiled. "Try taking a big sniff of the fresh flowers." Tilly sniffed the colorful blooms and tried again. Gobble, gobble. It was cheerful, but still not quite right. Next, Tilly trotted to Penny the piglet, who was playing in the soft mud. "Penny, how can I make my gobble happy?" she asked. Penny giggled. "Try splashing in the mud. It makes me so happy." Tilly wiggled her toes in the mud and gave it another try. Gobble, gobble. It was fun and a little sillier, but still not the happiest sound she wanted. Finally, Tilly found Sammy the sheep munching on green grass. "Sammy, what makes your bleat so happy?" she asked softly. Sammy smiled and said, "Being kind and sharing makes me happy inside. Try being kind and see what happens." Tilly thought for a moment, then decided to share her favorite berries with her friends. She gobbled once more, gobble, gobble. This time, her gobble was the happiest, brightest sound all around the farmyard. That day, all the animals gathered to hear Tilly's special gobble. With a heart full of happiness and kindness, Tilly gobbled louder and happier than ever before. "Gobble, gobble," echoed through the farmyard, making everyone smile and dance. From that day on, Tilly knew the happiest gobble came from sharing joy and being a good friend. The Lost City Beneath the Desert. Once upon a time, in a bright, sunny desert, little Zara and her magical camel, Nubai, were playing near the golden sand dunes. Zara loved adventures, and today, Nubai's soft hooves suddenly stopped at a strange, tiny sparkle shining beneath the sand. Curious, Zara dug gently with her hands, and to her surprise, a little glowing door appeared, nestled in the warm sand. What could be behind the door? With a big smile, Zara held Nubai's reins tight, ready to find out. Zara opened the magical door and saw a sparkling staircase leading down, made of colorful stones that shimmered like rainbows. Together, Zara and Nubai tiptoed down the stairs, each step lighting up with twinkling lights. At the bottom, they gasped with joy. A whole lost city lay beneath the desert, filled with bright buildings made of glowing crystals and streets paved with shining jewels. Friendly little glowing creatures peeked out, waving hello to the new visitors. Zara and Nubai wandered through the sparkling streets, meeting playful glowing lizards and colorful birds singing sweet songs. They found a treasure chest, old but shining, filled with twinkling jewels and golden coins. Zara laughed as she held up a shiny gem that sparkled like the sun. Nubai nuzzled her gently, happy to share this wonderful secret. As the sun began to set above the desert, Zara knew she had found a special place where magic and friendship lived forever beneath the golden sands. The Tale of Two Best Friends. One sunny morning, Pip the puppy and Mia the kitten met in the magical garden where flowers smelled like candy and butterflies shimmered like little rainbows. They greeted each other with happy barks and purrs, ready for a day full of fun. Pip bounced his shiny red ball, and Mia twirled around, her green eyes sparkling with excitement. Together, they decided to explore the garden, wondering what new surprises they might find. As they wandered along the winding paths, a golden butterfly appeared, fluttering gently in front of them. It glowed softly and seemed to be inviting them to follow. With tails wagging and whiskers twitching, Pip and Mia chased the glowing butterfly deeper into the garden. They passed sparkling streams, giggling flowers, and even a friendly snail wearing a tiny hat. Every step was a new adventure, and the friends laughed together all the way. Soon, the butterfly led them to a secret meadow where the grass shimmered like tiny stars. In the middle stood a huge, twisty tree that whispered stories in the wind. Pip and Mia sat quietly, listening to the soft, rustling leaves. Suddenly, the tree's branches swayed, showering them with colorful petals that tickled their noses. The friends giggled and danced under the petal rain, feeling the magic of the garden wrap around them like a warm hug. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange, Pip and Mia realized it was time to go home. They thanked the golden butterfly for the wonderful adventure and promised to visit the magical garden again soon. Holding the red ball and with hearts full of joy, the two best friends skipped happily back through the garden, ready to dream of their next amazing day together. The Superhero Squad of Sunnyville. In the sunny town of Sunnyville, 4 friends loved to play and help others. There was Leela, who could make flowers bloom with a gentle touch; Max, who could run faster than the wind; Zoe, who could light up the darkest places with her bright smile; and Ben, who could hear the tiniest sounds from far away. Together, they called themselves the Superhero Squad, always ready for fun and kindness. One morning, as the Superhero Squad played near the big oak tree, they heard a tiny cry. Ben, with his super hearing, said, "Someone needs help." They followed the sound and found Mr. Bumblebee's little bee stuck in a spider's web. Leela gently touched the web, and flowers grew around it, making the sticky threads disappear. The little bee buzzed happily and flew free. The squad cheered, feeling proud to help. Suddenly, dark clouds covered the sky, and the town's lights went out. Zoe's smile shone brightly, lighting up the street like a glowing lantern. Max ran quickly to check the power station, where he found a big branch blocking the wires. Using his speed, he moved the branch away, and the lights twinkled back on. Everyone in Sunnyville clapped and cheered for the Superhero Squad. As the sun came out again, the Superhero Squad gathered to celebrate. They learned that when friends work together with their special gifts and kindness, they can make any day bright and happy. Sunnyville was the happiest town ever, all thanks to the brave and caring Superhero Squad. And every day, they looked forward to new adventures and helping anyone in need. The Little Peacock's Plume. In a bright, sunny jungle lived a little peacock named Pavo. Unlike his parents, whose splendid plumes sparkled with every color of the rainbow, Pavo's feathers were small and plain. Every day, he wished his feathers could shine and dance in the sunlight just like theirs. He dreamed of the day he might have a beautiful plume to show all his friends. One morning, while exploring the jungle floor, Pavo spotted something glimmering under a big green leaf. Curious, he pecked it gently and found a feather unlike any he had ever seen. It shimmered in blue, green, and gold, sparkling as the sunlight danced on it. Pavo's eyes grew wide with wonder and excitement. Pavo showed the feather to his friends, the fluffy white rabbit, the cheerful red and yellow parrot, and the gentle brown deer. They all admired the shiny plume and told Pavo how special it was. "You don't need a big plume to be special," said the parrot. "Your kindness and joy make you shine bright," said the rabbit. From that day on, Pavo didn't worry about his small feathers. Instead, he held the colorful feather proudly, sharing its beauty and joy with everyone he met. His friends loved to see Pavo's happy dance, and soon, the little peacock's plume became a symbol of friendship and happiness throughout the jungle. The Secret Garden Adventure. One sunny morning, Lily and her puppy Max were playing in the backyard when they noticed something strange behind the old oak tree. It was a small wooden gate covered in twisting green vines and tiny pink flowers. Curious, Lily pushed the gate open, and to her surprise, they stepped into a secret garden that shimmered with magic and color. Bright flowers sparkled like stars, and friendly bugs buzzed around happily. Max wagged his tail, ready to explore this wonderful new place with Lily. As they walked deeper into the garden, Lily spotted a patch of flowers that glowed in every color of the rainbow. She bent down to smell a bright pink blossom that twinkled like a tiny star. Max happily chased a fluttering butterfly, his fluffy tail wagging faster and faster. Suddenly, a friendly ladybug landed on Lily's finger and waved its tiny legs as if to say hello. Lily laughed and whispered, "This must be the happiest garden in the whole world." Further along the winding path, Lily and Max found a little pond where shiny dragonflies zipped over the water. They saw curious caterpillars inching along big green leaves and buzzing bees collecting nectar from the magical flowers. Lily and Max played hide-and-seek behind tall sunflowers, giggling as the garden seemed to join in their fun. The secret garden was full of surprises, and every step brought a new friend or a sparkling wonder to discover. As the sun began to set, Lily and Max sat on a soft patch of moss, watching the garden glow softly in the golden light. Lily whispered, "Thank you, secret garden, for sharing your magic with us today." Max snuggled close, happy and tired from their adventure. They knew they had found a special place to visit whenever they wanted to dream and play. With hearts full of joy, they quietly slipped back through the wooden gate, ready to return another day for more secret garden adventures. The sunshine of spring. One sunny morning, Sunny the little rabbit woke up to a garden glowing with color. The sun was shining warmly, and the flowers were stretching their petals wide. Sunny's nose twitched with excitement as he hopped outside to see all the bright tulips, daisies, and bluebells waving in the gentle breeze. The sunshine made everything sparkle like magic, and Sunny felt so happy to be part of this beautiful spring day. As Sunny hopped along the garden path, he met a friendly butterfly fluttering by. "Hello, Sunny," said the butterfly. Isn't the sunshine wonderful? It helps the flowers grow tall and bright. Sunny twitched his ears and smiled. I love the sunshine. It makes the garden feel alive and happy. Together, Sunny and the butterfly watched a small buzzing bee dance from flower to flower, carrying tiny drops of pollen to help new blossoms bloom. Sunny felt the warm sunshine on his fur and looked up at the big smiling sun in the sky. "Thank you, sunshine," he whispered, "for waking up the garden and filling it with colors and friends." The sun seemed to glow even brighter, as if saying, "You're welcome, Sunny. Spring is a time for joy and growth for everyone." Sunny hopped happily in the soft green grass, ready for many more sunny adventures in the days to come. The tiny robot who wanted a heart. In a bright and bustling workshop, there lived a tiny robot named Tink. Tink was shiny and small with big, curious eyes and a little antenna on top. Even though Tink could beep and blink and zip all around, there was one thing missing: a heart. Tink often wondered what it would be like to have a heart that could feel warm and happy. One sunny morning, with a hopeful beep, Tink decided to go on an adventure to find a real, glowing heart. As Tink rolled out of the workshop, a friendly firefly named Spark zipped by, lighting up the path ahead. "Where are you off to, Tink?" Spark asked with a twinkle. "I want to find a heart," said Tink, "so I can feel warm and happy inside." Spark smiled warmly and said, "Then I'll help you shine the way." Together, they zipped through meadows of glowing flowers and sparkling stones, laughing as they went. Soon they met Whisper, a soft, fluffy cloud who floated gently in the sky. Whisper smiled and said, "A heart isn't just something you find, it's something you grow by being kind and caring." Tink thought about this and smiled shyly. "Maybe I can start by being kind right now," whispered Tink. And so Tink helped a little bird with a hurt wing, gently fixing it with careful metal hands. The bird chirped happily, and Tink felt a little spark inside, something warm and new. As the sun began to set, Spark and Whisper guided Tink to a shimmering pond where a glowing red heart gem floated on the water's surface. "This is the heart you've been searching for," said Whisper. Tink reached out carefully and touched the glowing heart, feeling its warmth spread all through the tiny robot's body. But Tink also realized something wonderful. The kindness and friendship shared on the journey had already filled a special place inside. With a happy beep and a glowing heart inside, Tink rolled back to the workshop, where friends and laughter waited. Tink had learned that a heart is more than a thing to hold. It's the love and kindness we share every day. And now, Tink's little light shined brighter than ever, because the tiny robot who wanted a heart had found the very best kind, the heart inside. The Happy Gannet's Dive. Gilly the gannet loved to fly high over the sparkling sea. Every day, he would spread his wide wings and soar up into the bright blue sky. When he felt the wind under his wings, he knew it was time for a big, happy dive. With a joyful chirp, Gilly tucked his wings and zipped down toward the shimmering water below. Splash! The sea welcomed him with a cool, bubbly hug. As Gilly swam through the sparkling waves, something shiny caught his eye. It was a little silver fish, glittering like a tiny star. The fish blinked its big, curious eyes and swam close to Gilly. "Hello," said Gilly with a friendly chirp. "Would you like to dive with me?" The shiny fish twirled happily and nodded, ready for an adventure. Just then, a group of playful dolphins jumped out of the water, splashing and spinning with joy. A colorful crab waved its claws from a nearby rock, and a shy starfish peeked out from under the seaweed. Gilly smiled wide and said, "Let's all dive together." With a whoosh and a splash, they all joined in, swirling and twirling through the water like a happy underwater dance. After their big, happy dive, Gilly and his new friends floated on the shining waves, smiling with their hearts full of fun. "The sea is so beautiful when shared with friends," said Gilly. The sun smiled down warmly as the ocean sparkled all around. And from that day on, every dive was the happiest dive, because adventures are best when you share them with those you care about. The Snack Time Squad. Every afternoon, the Snack Time Squad gathers in the Sunny Park to share their favorite treats. Benny the bunny hops in with his crunchy carrot sticks, while Tilly the turtle slowly arrives carrying her sweet apple slices. Max the monkey swings down from a tree, munching on a ripe banana. Sally the squirrel scampers over with a special acorn cookie, and Coco the cat strolls in, her pink bow bouncing as she carries a bowl of juicy berries. Together, they spread out the red and white checkered picnic blanket and prepare for their tasty adventure. Just as everyone is about to dig in, Sally's eyes widen. The acorn cookie is missing. "Oh no," she exclaims. The Snack Time Squad looks around carefully. Benny twitches his nose, Tilly peers slowly, Max scratches his head, and Coco's green eyes sparkle with curiosity. They decide to become detectives and find the missing cookie. With playful giggles and determined smiles, they begin their search, checking under leaves, behind trees, and even inside a hollow log. Adventure fills the air as they work together. Suddenly, Max spots a little crumb trail leading toward a big oak tree. "Look!" he shouts, pointing excitedly. The squad follows the tiny crumbs, giggling and tiptoeing. When they reach the tree, they find a cheeky chipmunk nibbling on the missing cookie. Instead of being upset, the friends laugh and invite the chipmunk to join their snack time. Sharing the cookie makes the treat even sweeter. Together, the Snack Time Squad enjoys their picnic, feeling happy and proud of their teamwork and kindness. The brave little roosters crow. Early every morning on the colorful farm, all the animals woke up with the sun. But Ruddy, the little rooster with bright red and orange feathers, felt shy. He wanted to crow like the big roosters, but his voice was small and soft. "What if no one hears me?" he wondered, watching the sun rise slowly over the green fields. One morning, dark clouds covered the bright sun, and the farm stayed sleepy and still. The big roosters were all silent, hiding under the trees. Without the sun's warm light, the animals didn't know it was time to rise. Ruddy felt a little flutter in his chest. "Maybe I can help," he thought. Taking a deep breath, Ruddy puffed out his tiny chest and let out the bravest crow he ever could. "Cock-a-doodle-doo," His voice was small but clear, and it echoed across the farm. Slowly, the animals stirred, the hens clucked awake, and Farmer Joe smiled, tipping his hat. The sun peeked out from behind the clouds, shining warmly again. From that day on, Ruddy knew that even the smallest voice could be brave and important. Every morning, he crowed with confidence, helping the farm wake up with a happy heart. And all the animals cheered, because the brave little rooster's crow was the sweetest sound in the whole wide farm. A unicorn for Emily's birthday. Today is Emily's birthday. She wakes up excited, her pink dress twirling as she runs outside to the garden where balloons float and colorful ribbons flutter. Suddenly, a soft sparkle catches her eye near the big oak tree. There, shimmering under the sunlight, stands a tiny unicorn with a rainbow mane and twinkling eyes. "Hello, Emily," the unicorn says gently. "I'm Sparkle, here to make your day magical." Sparkle nudges Emily gently, inviting her to climb on his back. As soon as she sits, colors whirl around them like a swirling rainbow. They fly over the garden and through the gates into a magical forest where trees glow softly and friendly animals peek out to say hello. A curious bunny hops alongside, and a cheerful bird sings a happy tune. Emily laughs with delight, feeling the wind and magic all around her. Deep inside the forest, Sparkle and Emily find a sparkling pond that reflects all the colors of the rainbow. Sparkle tells Emily, "The magic of this place reminds us that kindness and friendship make the world shine brighter." Emily smiles and shares her birthday cake with the friendly animals, who giggle and clap their paws and wings. The forest sparkles even more, and Emily feels her heart glow with happiness and love. As the sun begins to set, Sparkle gently flies Emily back to her garden. The balloons dance in the breeze, and Emily hugs Sparkle tightly. "Thank you for the best birthday ever," she whispers. Sparkle smiles, his rainbow mane sparkling in the golden light. "Remember, magic is always inside you, Emily." With a twinkle, Sparkle trots away into the sunset, leaving Emily filled with joy and wonder, ready for many more magical days to come. The Valentine's Day of Love. In a bright and magical forest, Bella the little bunny woke up feeling extra happy. Today was Valentine's Day, a special day to share love and kindness with everyone. Bella put on her favorite pink scarf and hopped outside, ready to spread joy. She looked around and saw the forest blooming with heart-shaped flowers and colorful balloons tied to the trees. "What a perfect day for a love adventure," she thought, her nose twitching with excitement. First, Bella met Sammy the squirrel, who was gathering nuts but looked a little sad. "Why so glum, Sammy?" Bella asked with a kind smile. Sammy sighed, "I want to give my friends a gift, but I don't have anything special." Bella thought for a moment and said, "Love is the best gift of all. Why don't we make heart-shaped nut baskets together?" Sammy's eyes sparkled as they worked side by side, filling baskets with nuts and wrapping them with ribbons. Sammy felt happy to share. Next, Bella found Leela the ladybug resting on a leaf. Leela was painting tiny hearts on petals but seemed unsure. "What are you doing, Leela?" Bella asked. I want to decorate the forest for Valentine's Day, but I'm so small, Leela whispered. Bella gently said, even the smallest hearts shine the brightest. Let's hang your painted petals all around. Together, they decorated trees and bushes, turning the forest into a sparkling garden of love. Leela's little hearts glowed everywhere, making the forest magical. As the sun began to set, Bella heard a soft hoot. It was Oliver the owl, perched quietly on a branch. "Hello, Bella," he said kindly. "I have something special for you." Oliver handed Bella a magical golden key that sparkled in the twilight. "This is the key to open the heart of the forest. When you use it, love will fill every corner." Bella's eyes widened with wonder. Together, they walked to the big oak tree at the heart of the forest. Bella gently placed the key in a tiny heart-shaped lock, and suddenly, the whole forest glowed with warm light and love. All the animals gathered around, feeling the love that filled the forest. Bella smiled and said, "Valentine's Day is about sharing kindness, friendship, and love with everyone, big and small." They sang happy songs, exchanged gifts made with love, and played among the heart-shaped flowers and balloons. The forest was alive with joy, laughter, and the warmest hugs. Bella knew this Valentine's Day would be remembered forever, a day when love truly bloomed for all her friends. The Little Learner of Lily and Leo. One sunny morning, Lily and Leo were playing in their backyard when a tiny sparkle caught their eyes. It was the Little Learner, a magical creature no bigger than a ladybug, glowing softly with golden light. The Little Learner smiled and whispered, "Would you like to discover something wonderful with me?" Excited and curious, Lily and Leo nodded eagerly, ready for an adventure full of surprises and fun. The Little Learner led them to a giant sunflower that reached the sky. "Look closely," it said. Lily and Leo watched as tiny bees buzzed happily, collecting pollen and dancing from flower to flower. The Little Learner explained how bees help flowers grow, making the garden bright and colorful. Lily clapped her hands, and Leo giggled, amazed at how busy and important the little bees were. Next, the Little Learner showed them a sparkling puddle, where tiny water droplets danced and shimmered like stars. "These droplets help plants drink and grow," it whispered. Lily gently touched the water, and Leo splashed his hands, laughing as the droplets twinkled in the sun. They felt happy to learn how even the smallest drops of water were magical helpers in the garden. As the sun began to set, the Little Learner gathered tiny fireflies that lit up the garden like twinkling stars. "See how they glow to guide others at night," it said. Lily and Leo watched the fireflies dance around them, their lights flickering softly. They felt the magic of the garden filling the air, and their hearts were full of wonder and joy, grateful for their new little friend and the day's adventures. Before saying goodbye, the Little Learner whispered, "Remember, every little thing around you is full of magic and learning. Just keep your eyes open and your heart curious." Lily and Leo waved happily as their tiny friend disappeared in a sparkling trail, promising many more adventures to come. Their day was filled with smiles, magic, and the joy of being little learners in a big, wonderful world. magic forest of friendly fairies. One sunny morning, Bella the bunny hopped through the meadow when she noticed a shimmering path glowing softly beneath the trees. Curious and excited, Bella decided to follow the sparkling trail, wondering where it would lead. As she hopped along, twinkling lights danced around her, and the air smelled sweet like honey and flowers. The magic forest was waking up, ready to share its secrets with a new friend. Soon, Bella met the friendly fairies, tiny glowing creatures with wings like petals of a rainbow. They smiled warmly and waved their tiny hands, sprinkling sparkling fairy dust that made Bella giggle. The fairies invited Bella to explore the magic forest together. They showed her giant rainbow-colored flowers that swayed gently, sparkling streams that sang soft songs, and glowing mushrooms that lit up the forest floor like little lanterns. As they walked, Bella and the fairies played games of hide-and-seek, chasing sparkling butterflies and listening to the forest's gentle whispers. Bella learned that the magic forest was full of kindness and friendship, where every creature helped one another. When the sun began to set, the fairies created a glowing circle of light, and Bella felt warm and happy inside. She knew this magical place would always be her special secret, full of love and new friends.